Good morning, everybody. How are you guys doing? It is Monday, September 28th, another glorious week of TOEFL and GRE classes. So today we're going to be continuing our discussion of speaking. Before we begin, what did you guys do this weekend? We're on week number 49, Vishu. So we've almost done 52 weeks. We've almost done a year of this stuff. All right, what'd you guys do this weekend? Do anything cool? Let's take a look at the chat box. Sleep. Sleep. So far, all I'm getting is sleep. Sleep. Same old, same old. Watched the NBA. Friend's wedding. Played Among Us. Cleaned the garden. Watched courses. All right, Rocket League. Cool. Watched Friends. All right, guys, so let's just get into this. We didn't have any homework, and the reason why is, in my opinion, speaking question 1 is pretty straightforward. So let's just do a quick review of speaking question 1. All right, so you guys know that in the speaking section, you do have to speak English, obviously, but that's not the only thing that they're looking for. Can you guys remind me what else they're looking for? So if I want to get like a high score, what do I need to do? Yeah, number 1 is you have to have some kind of structure. You know, they like what they call cohesion and coherence and organization. They like the ideas that are related to each other. They like ideas that are clearly defined. So like if you're giving an example, what should you say before the example? You should say, for example. If you're giving a reason, what should you say? You should say, because. If you're giving your opinion, you should say, in my opinion. The clearer you can be, the better it's going to be. So that's number 1. Number 2, they're looking for basically what they call, I forget the exact word they use, but essentially accuracy. And what does that mean? It means you're not making grammar mistakes, you're not misusing vocab words, you are not just essentially having these kind of syntactical errors that will lower your score. And then finally, what they're looking for is kind of what they call fluidity or, naturalness. Just basically you're relaxed. You're not like, completely nervous. If you can do all 3 of these things, your accent is not as big of a hindrance as you think it is. Improving an accent is going to be a very, very difficult prospect. I wouldn't even worry about it. I would instead focus on having structure, having correct grammar, having correct vocab usage, and then speaking with a natural and kind of fluid tone. That would be my focus. Does that make sense, everybody? Does that make sense? Okay. So here we go. This is a question number 1. We're not going to talk about question number 1 that much because I want to move on to the integrated questions. But basically, when I look at a question like this, I'm following a very simple structure. Opinion, reason 1, example, reason 2, example. That's it. And of course I have 45 seconds to speak, right? So let's go ahead and bring in that timer. Okay, so there's our timer. I need to make it so you can see. Okay, can everyone see the timer? Right here? Okay. We have a question. Hey Aditya, how are you?
Hi, Greg.
What's up, man?
Yeah, hi. Yeah, so I was saying in 15 seconds you have to prepare for this TOEFL speaking, right?
Yep.
Yeah, and what if like I exceed 15 seconds, like of the 45 seconds, like I, take 5 seconds from the 45 second speak?
You can't do
Will
that. It's all automated, like the computer. So if you take 5 seconds from the 45 seconds, that means for the first 5 seconds of your speaking, it's going to be silence.
Okay, but I tried my TOEFL speaking today, and it was really bad actually.
Why
It
was
was
it
really
bad?
bad. I wasn't able to think properly in that 15 seconds. I think I hesitated, maybe.
Oh, that brings me up to a good question. So I'll ask Adia, and then I'll ask everyone else. Do your ideas matter?
I didn't get you. Like
No,
related to this topic?
the ideas don't matter. So if you're sitting there trying to think of, oh my God, I got to think of the perfect idea and the perfect reason and the perfect
Okay.
example.
Yeah, yeah. I get what you
Yeah.
are saying. Like you are saying, keep on speaking something.
Yeah,
Don't just
say
like,
something. Yeah, yeah. Say
yeah.
something that's organized, say
Yeah.
something that has a reason, an example, but the actual idea is nobody cares.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Does that make sense? So
Yeah, I
don't
get.
just sit there thinking of the perfect idea. It's not a good use of your time.
Okay.
Cool. Yep.
Okay. Yeah. Thank.
Yep. Sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off. Hey, Sahil.
Hello.
Hey, what's up?
What's the agenda for this TOEFL series? Because I have my TOEFL on October 17th. So will this be over by then?
Well, so far we've already covered the reading and the listening, so you can check that out. We're going to cover the speaking today and next class, and then we're going to spend the maybe 2 classes talking about the writing. So we probably, including this class, I think we have about 4 more classes.
Yeah, so that's like a week, right?
No, that would be 2 weeks. So this week and the next week.
Yeah.
Cool.
Okay, thank you.
All right. Well, you guys have a lot of questions. Uki. Hey, Uki. I don't know if I'm saying your name right. How are you, Uki?
Hi.
Is it Uki?
Yuki.
Yuki. Sorry.
Yeah. I got a question. I don't know how to use the 15 seconds. Should I take
To be
notes
honest, no. I
or?
mean, to be honest, you don't really need to. That's my point. Like
Uh,
here. Let me show you what I mean. Right. So, like,
mhm.
I know I have to say individually or in groups. Right. Choose one.
Yeah. Group.
Okay. So I'm just gonna write down the word group. Takes 1 second. Right. I know I need a reason. So let's say group. You can share the work. I'm going to come
Yeah.
up with an example on the fly, so I'm not going to write down the example. What's another reason why you want group work?
Um. Make friends.
Okay, sure. Again, the ideas don't matter, right? It doesn't matter
Yes.
what you say. So, sure, you make friends, and then you come up with an example. So, how long did it take me to write down those 5 words?
5 minutes.
5 minutes.
No, 5 seconds.
Okay.
5 seconds.
So, as
Yeah.
you can see, 15 seconds is longer than you think it is. Oh, and
Yeah.
by the way, you actually have more than 15 seconds because you have that stupid computer guy reading this.
Yeah. Yeah.
He says, some students study for classes individually, so that actually gives you more time.
Yes. Yes.
Cool.
I know. I got it. Thank
Yeah.
you.
Yeah. So, like I said, don't overthink the ideas, everybody. Nobody cares. I'm not trying to be rude, but nobody cares your opinion on group work. Nobody cares about my opinion on group work. What they do care about is your English ability. Hey, Sanjeev, how are you?
Hey Greg, I'm doing good. How are you?
Good. How are you?
Yeah. So I have a question. Like in this case, do we have to take a specific stance, or we can also take a middle ground? For example, like as you say in your argument or issue essays, that you can provide some points in support, and then you can provide a concession.
In theory, you can take a middle ground, in theory. But I don't recommend it because remember, nobody cares about your ideas. The genius of taking a middle ground is it shows that you are nuanced. You are able to look at both sides of an issue, right?
I see.
Right. But if people don't really care about the ideas, we don't need to be nuanced. So my recommendation would just be take a firm opinion.
I see. Sure.
Yep.
Thank you.
Okay. All right. Let me guys give you an example of how I would speak this. Okay. So here we go. In my opinion, I believe that it's better to study in a group than individually for 2 reasons. The first reason is we can share the workload. For example, if we are working on a final exam paper, I can write the introduction and do the research. My friend Billy can work on the citation page, the reference page, and my friend Sarah can work on the editing and the proofreading. The second reason why I prefer to work in a group is I can make friends. For example, last year we worked on a group project in biology. We made like a DNA molecule construction thing together, and I met my best friend Billy Bob. And now we get pizza every day. It's great. See? So what I did here is not necessarily the ideas. I want you to notice what I said before to introduce each idea. How did I introduce my opinion? I introduced it by, in my opinion. How did I introduce reason 1? The first reason is, or first of all, How did I mention the example? For example. How did I mention the second reason? The second reason, or second of all. And then finally, how did I mention the example? For example. Cool? Make sense, everybody? Let's do that one more time, but let's do it with the individually one. Okay? Here we go. In my opinion, I prefer to work on projects individually for two reasons. The first reason is I can just rely on myself and don't have to pick up the slack of any people who don't do well. For example, I worked on a project last year in my biology class, and my friend Sarah refused to do any work, and I had to do it for her. That was very uncomfortable for me. The second reason why I prefer to work individually is because I can get all of the credit. If I submit an amazing assignment for my film class, for example, all of the credit goes to me, and I don't have to share the credit with anybody else. See? Not hard, right? Not a difficult thing. Again, the ideas don't really matter. Just talk. But don't just free talk. Remember, it's not a diary. Don't be like, today was shitty. Don't do that. It should be, in my opinion, reason one, example, reason two, example. Hey, Sophia, question?
Yeah, hi. I was wondering if it's okay if we finish early?
I would say around 40 seconds is okay, but around 35 seconds is a little bit too short. Now, I did finish that one early, that is true, but bear in mind I'm a native speaker and I can speak, probably a little bit faster, and this is my job, right?
Okay, thanks.
Mm-hmm. Okay, let's go to Sabari. Hey, Sabari.
Yeah, hi Greg. So I'm new here. So I was about to ask something. I'm sorry. So we need to conclude it?
No. With 45 seconds, you do not need to conclude it.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm. Okay, good question. Devansh. Hey, Devansh.
Hey, Greg.
Hey, what's up? Can you get closer to your microphone?
Yeah, can you hear me now?
Yeah, that's a little better, yeah.
Yeah. Suppose I finish in like 30 seconds. So then when I notice that it's 30 seconds, should I just fill the rest of the time with some random stuff?
Not random. Yeah, good question. Not random, but do another reason or something like that.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yep, good question. And then Mauro. Hey, Mauro, question.
Hey, Greg.
What's up?
Hey, just a quick question. I remember we previously discussed a prompt. It says something like, if you go to your destination, you can do it by car, train, or airplane. And you discussed both sides. I mean, you prefer to go by, for example, by car. And then you said, however, you like contrast, the two sides.
Yeah, I didn't discuss both sides. What I did is what's called a negative reason. So put it this way, your reasons should show similarities between the options or differences.
In this case?
In every case.
Oh. Yeah,
so
no.
when you're choosing between two things, should you focus on differences or similarities?
Differences?
Exactly. And let me show you what I mean. If I were to say, I prefer working individually because I learn a lot. That might be a good reason, but at the same time, it might not be a good reason because you can also learn a lot by studying in groups, right?
Right.
Okay. So whenever I think of reasons, I always try to think of reasons that show the differences between the options. So take, for example, your example with planes and taxi cab and whatever it was, boat, right?
Yeah.
One reason could be to the effect of faster, speed, because an airplane is going to be the fastest, right? So whenever you think of a reason, try your best to just think of a difference between them. That's all.
Okay, perfect.
Makes
Thank
sense?
you.
Yep. Okay. Let's go ahead and move on. Here's one more. Okay, I'm going to have you guys do this one. So everyone, we're going to do this one together, and you're going to speak to your computer. Just imagine like it's the real thing. I'm going to be the TOEFL computer guy. Some college students choose to take courses in a variety of subject areas in order to get a broad education. Others choose to focus on a single subject area in order to have a deeper understanding of that area. Which approach to course selection do you think is better for students, and why? You now have 15 seconds to prepare your answer. You now have 45 seconds to speak your answer. And stop. Beep. Okay, how'd it go, everybody? Anupam said, Greg, it's difficult to speak to the screen. Anupam, this is going to sound like a rude comment. I apologize. Tough luck. That's what the TOEFL is. Isn't that what the TOEFL is? Right? The TOEFL is speaking to a computer screen, unfortunately, right? That's what it is. All right, can I have any volunteers? Any volunteers? Let's go to Dana. Hey, Dana.
Hello.
All right, are you ready?
Yes.
All right.
1 second.
Sure. You may begin speaking now.
Okay. In my opinion, I prefer that students take courses in different subject areas, not just in their own courses, because for two reasons. First of all, they will have a global education and they will have a global perspective. As an architect, we had the opportunity of taking courses in human communication, in psychology and archaeology, and it was a very good experience. It broadened our vision. For the second reason is that you will not be focused on your subject matter, and you will have an exposure to other students and a different spectrum, and it was very helpful. And also from my own experience, it helped me a lot.
Okay, stop. Okay. So that was not perfect, but it was probably a 4. And keep in mind, 4 is the highest score. Okay. So again, it wasn't perfect, but it was probably a 4. And the main reason why it wasn't perfect, pretty much the only reason, is you missed the second example.
Yeah.
Right. But other than that, you did very good. You were very fluid. You were very confident. I knew what you were talking about. Like the first reason, for example, for example, you didn't say for my example, right? Or so you didn't say for example, but you did say from my experience. So that told me, oh, this is the example. This is the example, right? And then you said the second reason, so all of that was good. The only complaint, and it's a minor one, is you missed the second example.
It's my first trial. Yeah, I'll work on it.
Yeah, so I mean, but like I said, don't work on it too much because you just got a perfect score. So kind of keep doing what you're doing. Make sense?
Okay. Yes.
Okay. All right, let's do one more volunteer. Shripriya, you want to give it a shot?
Hi.
Hey, how you doing?
Good. Okay, I'm quite nervous. Yeah.
Don't be nervous. We're all just talking to computer screens here. Okay.
Yeah.
Are you ready?
Yes.
All right, you may begin speaking now.
In my opinion, I believe that courses from a wide subject areas help us help us in the following two ways. The first reason is that it helps us broaden our horizons. For example, when I took courses in technology and added on some social sciences courses, it helped me with my job, and I was able to communicate well at work. The second reason I believe is you get to meet a lot of people, and in my last semester, I was able to meet quite a different a number of people, and was able to make a group and enjoy my college life also.
Very good, very good. So, again, no reason to be nervous. That's
Yeah.
probably a 4. Probably a 4, which again means perfect score. The only thing I would advise you to do is when you give an example, make sure you give an example. Let me show you what I mean. Let me show you what I mean. I really love fruit because it is sweet. So, what is my opinion?
That you like sweet fruits?
No, I like fruit. I like
You like
fruit,
fruit.
right? And what is the reason why I like it?
Because it's sweet.
Now watch this. This is what you did. This is what you did. I really like fruit because it is sweet. For example, it is sweet.
Oh.
Right? Does that work?
No.
So do you remember you said, I really like working in a group or whatever subject of a wide variety is because I can meet many different people. And then you said, for example, I could meet many different people.
Okay.
See how you're repeating the reason? What you should have said, I really like taking a variety of subjects because I can meet many people. For example, last year in my philosophy class, I met this great philosopher dude who I would never have met before, something like that.
All right.
Yeah, does that make sense?
Yes, it does.
Okay.
Thank you.
But again, we're not asking for perfection. In my opinion, the last 2 people are probably a 4, in my opinion. So even though they had little minor things that they could work on, they were very fluid. The grammar was good. They were organized. I was never confused. They did a pretty good job. Okay, so let's talk about the other questions. Have you guys ever seen the movie The Bourne Identity? Jason Bourne, Matt Damon. Okay. Do you guys remember when he was in the bar? He was in the bar and he was on the run and he knew everything about everybody, right? He knew where the exits were. He knew where the gun in the bar was. The owner of the bar had a gun somewhere. He knew that one of the guys in the bar was a good fighter and stuff like that. So when Jason Bourne walked into the bar, right, was he looking at the menu? No, he had a plan. So the first thing he would look for is the exits. He would then look for who's in the bar. He basically walked in with a plan. I'm going to look at the exits. I'm going to look at the people. I'm going to identify where a gun might be, stuff like that. You have to be the same way with TOEFL, the integrated speaking questions. You cannot go in blind. What you have to do is know exactly what you're looking for. So whenever that question pops up, you have to know exactly what you're looking for. Don't just read it. That's a bad idea. Have a plan. All right? So let me show you what I mean here with an example. So you're going to get a reading passage like this. Most people who take the TOEFL just read the passage. But do they actually know what they're looking for? No, they're just trying to read it. Remember, TOEFL loves organization. The more you can organize everything, the better. So whenever you look at this reading passage, what I want you to look for is number 1, the change or the proposal. What is changing at school? And then finally, look for reason 1 and reason 2. So how many things are you looking for, everybody? 3 things. Look for the change or the proposal, look for the first reason, and then look for the second reason. So have a mission, have a plan. Right when you see that reading passage, you go, what's the change? What's the change? What's reason 1? What's reason 1? Does that make sense, everybody? I'm about to show you a reading passage right now. Are you guys ready? Now, this reading passage is only going to be up there for 45 seconds. Here we go. Find me those 3 things. Okay, that's it. All right, can I have a volunteer tell me the 3 things? Let's go with Rashmi. Hey, Rashmi.
Hello.
Hey, how are you?
Hi, Greg. I'm doing good. Thanks for asking. How are you?
Good, I'm good. What's the change and what are the 2 reasons?
So the university is looking for discontinuing the bus services because the first reason is buses are quite expensive, and the money which they are going to save by discontinuing the bus will be used for the overcrowded parking lots.
Perfect. Good job. So Rashmi did a really good job. Now watch what happened. What Rashmi just did is the beginning of her response, right? Watch. Let me show you what I mean. Because remember, on this question, how much time do you have to speak? You have 60 seconds, right? So what Rashmi just did is the beginning of her response. So watch. In the reading passage, we learned that the school is planning to eliminate its free bus service for students for 2 reasons. The first reason is few students ride the buses and they're quite expensive to operate. The second reason is they're going to use the money they save to expand parking lots for students. So notice right there what I did. How much time did that take? About 20 seconds, right? Which means for the next 40 seconds, what am I talking about? The lecture. But it's not a lecture, it's a conversation. It's actually a conversation. Okay? We're going to listen to the conversation soon. Hold on. Someone's at the door. Hold on. I have somebody looking at windows today. Okay. Summer's going crazy. Yeah. Angry summer. So what you guys have to realize is that this question is literally a summary. I mean literally a summary. You know, they're planning to do this, reason 1, reason 2. Okay? What I like to do is I like to talk about the reading passages, those 3 things, change, reason 1, reason 2, in about 20 seconds. That's what I like to do. All right, does anybody have any questions before we try this again? Ayushi, do you have a question?
Oh, I'm sorry, I forgot to lower my hand.
No problem. Shripriya, you have a question?
No.
Okay.
Thank you.
No problem. All right, let's go ahead and try this one again, guys. So just like before, I'm going to give you 45 seconds. Are you ready? Find me those 3 things. Okay? Here we go. Okay, volunteer. What are those 3 things? All right, let's go with no volunteers. Interesting. You guys were so eager before. Let's go with Kartik. Hey, Kartik, what do you think? Kartik?
Can you hear me?
Yep, I can hear you.
Okay, so the main motive was to build a housing outside the campus. And the 2 reasons were that they, if they build it inside campus, there'll be a lot of parking and clustering of people. The second reason is that if they build it outside the campus, people will get a richer experience of the stores and everything.
Yep, good job. Yep. So Kartik is correct. What they're planning to do is they're planning to build this 2 student apartments off campus. That's the change. That's the proposal, right? And of course, the first reason is if they build it on campus, it's just going to basically exacerbate issues on campus. There will be a lot of cars. It would just be kind of a crowded mess. It would also take some land that could be used for other projects. And the second reason is if the students live off campus, they'll be able to connect with the community and have a richer experience. And again, remember, I'm going to summarize this in 20 seconds. Watch. In the reading passage, we learned that the school is planning on implementing off-campus housing for 2 reasons. The first reason is if they build on campus, it's just going to make space and parking issues for many of the students. And the second reason is if they build off campus, they can connect with the community and have a richer experience. Right there. So do you see the 20 seconds right there? Okay. Do you see how I approach the TOEFL? It's very robotic. It's very methodical. It's like, okay, change, reason 1, reason 2. Change, reason 1, reason 2. All right, any questions? Santhia, you have a question?
Hi, Greg, how are you?
Good, how are you?
I have a question like whenever we have started speaking that reason and reason about this paragraph, can we see this paragraph or we cannot see this paragraph?
You can only see it for 45 seconds.
Okay, while speaking we cannot see this.
While speaking, no, you cannot. The only thing you can see is the notes that you took. And the good news would be, remember, you took the notes of the, the change and then reason 1 and reason 2. Mm-hmm.
Okay, because I didn't take the notes because I thought we can see that paragraph.
Oh, okay, yeah. So in the future, just make sure you write down those 3 things.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Okay. Another thing I want to highlight to you guys is, TOEFL speaking is not really speaking, is it? It's much more the ability to organize your thoughts. It's much more the ability to put your thoughts in a kind of logical order. Really approach it from that aspect, and I think you'll do well on it. Okay? Now, what we need to do is the listening. And let me let you guys in on a little bit of a secret. Most of your score comes from the listening. Let me repeat that. Most comes from the listening. Now, just like with the reading, we're looking for 3 specific things. Do you think that's true of the listening as well? Are we looking for specific things? Yes, we are. Let me show you what they are. Are you guys ready? Here we go. You're going to hear a conversation. It's going to be a man and a woman talking. Either the man or the woman is going to give his or her opinion. I think the proposal is great. I think the proposal is stupid. In most cases, it's a negative opinion. In most cases, they disagree. Not every case, but most cases. And then what this woman or man is going to do is give a reason. What this woman or man is going to do is give another reason. And you might be thinking, oh, this is very similar to the reading, with one caveat. Remember, most of your score comes from the listening. And remember, I still have 40 seconds, right? I spent 20 seconds talking about the reading. I still have 40 seconds. So what else do I need to get? I need to get a detail. So how many things am I looking for, everybody? 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now, we're going to do this first one together, and I'm going to show you this. I'm going to show you how kind of like organized TOEFL is. So let's write this down again. We're going to first look for the man or woman's opinion. Let's go ahead and take a listen, everybody. Let me make sure all of you guys can hear. All right. Track 26.
Number 3.
Can we hear? Okay. We're gonna do this one together, okay?
You will read a short passage.
Let me find it. Hold on.
The university's plan. Students discuss.
Okay, here we go. Remember, the first thing we're going to listen for is the opinion.
The article. I don't like the university.
There you go. What's the opinion? I don't like the I don't like it. I don't like it. Okay. So there we go. I just got the first thing. What's the next thing I'm listening for? the reason. Let's try to find out why he dislikes it.
City's plan.
Really? I've ridden those buses, and sometimes there were only a few people on the bus.
Do I care about the woman's comment? No, because remember, most of this is about the person giving the opinion.
It did seem like kind of a waste.
I see your point, but I think the problem is the route's out of date.
There we go. Boom. What's the reason? Why does he dislike this plan? He thinks the route is outdated. So his opinion is people don't like riding the bus because the route is bad. Okay, the next thing I need to get is a detail. Remember, I can't just stop here. He's going to give more information about the route being out of date. Let's listen.
It only goes through the neighborhoods that have gotten too expensive for students to live in.
What's the detail, everybody? Only through expensive neighborhoods. Agree? So, I don't like it. The route is outdated. It only goes through expensive neighborhoods. Now, that's really all I need. Because remember, you don't need all the detail. You just need a little bit. Here comes his second reason. Let's listen for the second reason.
It's ridiculous that they haven't already changed the route, so it goes where most off-campus students live now. I bet if they did that, they'd get plenty of students riding those buses.
Notice I'm not taking any notes. Who cares?
Well, at least they're adding more parking. It's gotten really tough to find a space.
That's the other part I don't like.
Here we go.
Actually, cutting back the bus service and adding parking's just going to encourage more students to drive on campus.
Okay, what's the reason? Why does he dislike this? What will it do? What will this policy do? It will result in more driving. Now, again, we're not done. We need the detail, right? Don't we need the detail? He's going to explain why this is a bad thing. Let's see what he says.
And that'll just add to the noise around campus and create more traffic. And that'll increase the need for more parking spaces.
Yeah, I guess I can see your point. Maybe it would be better if more students used the buses instead of driving.
Right. And the university should make it easier to do that, not harder.
So according to him, he didn't really give that much detail, but he did give some. If there's more drivers, what's going to happen? It's going to cause noise. Let me use red here. It's going to cause noise, and it's going to cause traffic. And it's just going to result in more parking needed. Something like that. Okay. Now, let me show you that this is literally just a straight up summary. Watch this. 1 minute, remember? In the reading passage, we learned the school is planning to eliminate the free bus service for 2 reasons. The first reason is it's a little bit too expensive for the students. Sorry, my mistake. Oops. I'm trying to do this by memory. Let me restart. In the reading passage, we learned that the school is planning to eliminate the bus service for 2 reasons. The first reason is few students use it, and the buses are expensive to operate. The second reason is they can use that saved money to create a parking structure or parking spaces on campus that will help the situation. However, in the conversation, the man doesn't like it for 2 reasons. First of all, he claims that the route is outdated. He says that it only goes through expensive neighborhoods. It doesn't go through the neighborhoods where most students live. If they change it, maybe many students will start riding the bus. The second reason why he dislikes it is he says that this plan will result in more drivers on campus. This is negative because it's going to increase noise, it's going to increase traffic, and it's going to result in more parking being needed in the future. Thus, the man does not agree with the proposal. Okay? Did I give my opinion anywhere? No. So, the way that I think about TOEFL speaking is I literally think about it as 8 things. So with the reading, you're looking for the change, reason 1, reason 2. So that's 1, 2, 3. With the conversation, you're looking for the opinion, reason 1, detail, reason 2, and then detail. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Add it all together, 8 things. Okay. Any questions about this? Okay, we good? All right, we have a question from Sabari. Hey, Sabari.
Hi Greg, so you use my reason number 1 and then again reason number 2, right? So does the repetition of words affect the scores?
No, it affects it. If it affects it at all, it's going to affect it much less than having a disorganized speech.
So instead of saying like my reason number 2, I could use the words like in addition to the above reason?
Sure, 100%. No problem at all. And if you do that, it will improve your score a little bit. Yeah.
That's great. Thank you.
Yep. Adiyata, a question?
Yeah, Greg. Hello.
Hey.
Yeah, in speaking one, you told us that we didn't. There is no reason. I mean, there is no need to conclude, right?
Yep. Same here. The only
For
reason
these,
the reason I concluded is because I had like 10 seconds, but there's no reason to conclude.
Okay. Yeah. So okay. Fine. Yeah.
Yep.
Thanks, Greg.
No problem. Okay. Sophia has a question. Hey, Sophia.
Hey, I had a question. Does it matter whether I speak in a robotic voice or like naturally with emotions, something?
I would encourage you to speak more naturally than robotic, but I would encourage the structure to be robotic. Does that make sense? Don't have a robotic voice, but have a robotic structure. The first reason is, the second reason is, that kind of thing.
Okay, thanks.
Okay. Like, for example, don't say, the man expresses his opinion in the conversation. He doesn't like it. 2 reasons. First reason, don't talk like that. That's obviously not a good thing, because in English we have what's called kind of intonation, right? Our speech tends to go up and down. All right, so we're going to have you guys practice this. So recall that this was the reading passage. Again, I'm going to give everybody 45 seconds. Okay? Everyone go ahead and read this, 45 seconds. Remember, get those 3 things. Okay, now we're going to listen, everybody. So everyone, for this one, you do have to take notes. The reason you have to take notes is you're trying to get 5 things, right? Can you guys remind me what those 5 things are? Opinion is number 1. What's number 2? Reason 1, detail, reason 2, and then detail. All right. Are you guys ready? Are you ready to get the 5 things? I hope so. Track 57.
Number 3. Especially the art just doesn't make sense. Discussing the article. Now listen to 2 students discussing the article.
I can't believe these plans. It just doesn't make sense to me.
Really? Seemed okay to me, especially the argument about the cars.
Yeah, I know, but the thing is, it doesn't matter where students live, because they still have to get to class somehow, right? At least if they built new dorms on campus, students would use campus transportation
instead of their cars. I see what you're getting at. If they live off campus, they're still going to have to drive and park on campus. Might even create more traffic.
Exactly.
Okay. Still, though, the point about students interacting more with people in the community, that doesn't seem to be a bad thing, does it?
But the more time spent off campus, in town, the less time spent on campus. What about all the clubs, shows, discussions, all the campus happenings that just kind of happen? It's important to be on campus to really take advantage of these things. Having a different living experience shouldn't be given up at the expense of not being as much a part of the university community.
The woman expresses her opinion.
Okay, everyone, what was her opinion? Did she like it or dislike it? Is she a fan? Yeah, she's not a fan. She dislikes it. What was reason number 1? What was reason number 1? I would say more cars on campus is kind of the detail. I think what reason number 1 is I'm trying to think of a way I want to phrase this. You can say more cars on campus, that's fine. The question is, what would you say for the detail? Okay, we can do that. Let's do that. So there will be more cars on campus if this happens. And the detail is the students will drive to campus, right? They'll drive to campus. And what will they not use? What will they not use? They will not use the on-campus transportation, right? They won't use that. Okay? Reason number 2, why does she dislike this? If I spend time outside of the community, yeah, it means less time on campus. And now this one is a little bit easier because I think the details are just a bunch of examples. What was the detail she gave? I think she gave a detail about clubs and shows and things of that nature. Lectures, whatever, right? Whatever it is. Okay. All right, so here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to give you guys 30 seconds to prepare. You're then going to talk to your computer like a crazy person, but that's how the TOEFL is. And then how much time do you have to speak? You have a minute. So everyone, remember the structure. So I'm going to write down the structure for you guys one more time. In the reading, you're going to talk about the change, reason 1, reason 2. In the conversation, you're going to talk about the opinion, reason 1, detail, reason 2, and then detail. Everyone, you have 30 seconds to prepare right now. Okay, here we go. Remember, talk to your computer, everybody. Please summarize the woman's opinion, blah, 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 blah. I'm like being the TOEFL guy. You may begin speaking now. And stop. Okay. How was it? Good. Let's make sure your focus is on the right place here. Don't really focus so much on your accent. Like, no one cares. At least I don't care. And I guarantee you the TOEFL graders don't really care. What they're really looking for is organization, making sure you get the ideas. Let's imagine you're running out of time. What do you cut? If you're running out of time, what do you cut? Really, you have no choice but to cut the detail, right? Another thing you can do is you can summarize the reading in like a very kind of abbreviated fashion. Let me show you what I mean. Because remember, most of the score comes from the listening, right? You can summarize the reading as follows. In the reading, they said that they're going to eliminate the bus service for 2 reasons. First of all, it's too expensive. Second of all, they'll use the money for parking. You know, something like that. I know that was the previous one, but you get the idea. In the reading, we learned that they're going to build off-campus housing. The first reason is to save space on campus for other things, and then they're going to build a park. I forget what it was. They can connect with the community, right? If you want to say that in like 10 or 15 seconds, no problem. You can use all the time for the conversation. All right. So just like before, can I take a volunteer? Can I take a volunteer? All right, let's go with Shripriya again. Anyone? Shripriya, I will choose you. I would just want to see if anyone else wants to volunteer. All right, going once. Okay, Sophia. Hey, Sophia.
Hey.
Are you ready?
Yeah.
All right. Can you talk a little closer to your microphone?
Yeah.
Okay. You may begin speaking now.
The recent passage announces a change that new student housing will be off campus for two reasons. First reason is they need space, and the second reason is university wants students to experience community in the city. However, the woman in the conversation is totally against this idea for two reasons. The first one is that students will have to get to class anyways, and university will still need to provide more parking spots. The second reason is that the more time students spend off campus, the less time they spend on campus. And it's important because it's important to be a part of university community, and students will miss shows and discussions and other important things.
So in my opinion, that's a 4. I mean, that would get a perfect score. So Sophia, I think you did a really good... What's that?
Even though I messed up in the beginning?
Doesn't matter. See, a lot of people mess up in the beginning, and then when they go, I'm sorry. Can we restart? Can we please restart? You know, you don't want to have that mindset. What you want to do is go, okay, just kind of work through it. Kind of work through the mistake, right? So no. To me, that was very strong. I mean, you said every idea. You know, you said this. You said this. Your speech was very fluid. You were organized. So to me, I mean, you're doing everything I want. So I'm going to give it a 4.
Okay, thanks.
Yeah. Okay. So let's go to Shripriya. Hey, Shripriya, you ready?
Yes.
All right. Hold on one sec. Okay. You may begin speaking now.
So the discussion here is about building an off-campus housing for students, and the university believes that for two reasons this would be a good idea. One, that the university campus would be less crowded and the space can be used for other projects. The second is that the students can have a richer college experience by interacting with the locals. The opinion of the woman in the conversation is that she doesn't think that this makes sense. She says that when the students live off campus, they will require cars to come on campus, and that will increase the traffic. Second reason that she states is that the whole point of a college experience is to be on campus. That this will help the students to take part in clubs, shows, and have discussions, which will give them a wholesome college experience.
So to me, again, the beginning is not the way I advise you to do it. Like, so you said the general topic. The only reason I don't advise that is because it takes away time from the summary part. However,
yes,
you did everything or most of the things I was asking you to do. You were organized. You used the word reason, first reason, second reason. You gave details. You said the opinion of the woman. You were fluid. The vocabulary was pretty good. So in my opinion, that's another 4. Now, you did have a case where you went, remember at the end there?
Yes.
But you recovered. Right? So it's okay to make a mistake, but, you just want to recover from it, just like Sophia did as well. So I thought both of those examples we heard were very good. Okay? So good job, Shripriya. Like I said, if you're from South Asia, India, Bangladesh, Pakistan, that area, even Nepal, you guys are probably better at English than you think you are. So on the speaking portion, you might want to just almost even relax a little. I mean, I'm not saying relax too much. I'm just saying, just speak naturally, speak fluidly, and just make sure it is organized. Just make sure it's organized. Don't just randomly talk. That's bad. Don't be like, oh, Greg said I can just relax. Don't just like randomly talk. It still has to be organized. All right. Do we have any questions about this? All right. Dana has a question. Hey, Dana.
Hi. Look, just the reading. Does he read it for us too?
Sorry?
The reading part?
Do you mean does the TOEFL recording guy, does he do the reading? Does he read out loud the passage?
Yes.
No, he doesn't. You have to read it.
So we don't have extra time. Oh.
Yeah. You have to read it, unfortunately. Now, I do think that they'll say, you have 45 seconds to read it. While he says that, you can be reading the first 2 lines if you want.
Yes, okay.
Yeah, makes sense?
Yes.
All right, let's go to... Oh, sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off, Dana. Devansh. Hey, Devansh.
Hey, Greg. So you mentioned that if we're running out of time, we can go ahead and skip the details. But I was just wondering that instead of that, could we just start talking faster and try to fit everything in? Is that a reasonable way to go?
It is, assuming you don't make grammar mistakes. Sometimes whenever we try to speed up, we make grammar mistakes, right? So everything on TOEFL speaking is a balance. Whenever you go too fast, your vocab and your grammar might go down. Whenever you go too fast, it might be harder to understand what you're saying. So a lot of that is going to be a balance. I would prefer that you cut out some of the reading. So if you don't have enough time for the listening, I would try to summarize the reading at about 10 to 15 seconds, because that'll give you 45 to 50 seconds for the conversation.
Okay.
Cool.
Thanks.
Yep. All right, let's go to Alina. Hey, Alina.
Hi, Greg.
Hey.
Yeah, I have 2 questions. First one, I think somebody already asked, but can I do it once again? So in this task, when there is a reading first and then listening, the reading disappears completely, right?
Yes, 100. Yeah, the reading goes away after 45 seconds, and the only thing remaining are going to be those 3 things you wrote down: change, reason 1, reason 2. Mm-hmm.
Okay, I see. Thanks. And the second question is, when we reply, is it a good thing to say these reasons from the reading, or we can just talk about the change?
If you listen to Shripriya, I think she never said from the reading. I typically do say from the reading. If you're talking about what I do, I typically say, the reading talks about 2 reasons, or something like that. Whatever you do, just make sure you summarize it. Yeah, if you don't say the reading clearly, I guess that's okay, because Shripriya did it and she still did well.
Mm-hmm. No, I mean the reading usually it says the specific reasons why they think it's a good idea, to change something. But should we say these reasons why they think it's a good idea?
Yeah, I think so. I think you should say the reasons. Yeah.
It's better. Okay. Thanks.
In my opinion, yeah. Because remember, the woman or the man who gives his or her opinion, they're commenting on the reasons, right?
Yeah, that's
so
right.
if you don't set that up, it's going to be a little bit disjointed.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I see. Thank you.
Yep. All right, let's do last question. We'll go to Yuki. Hey, Yuki.
Hey, Greg. So I have a question about how I train myself to take notes in the reading part. Should I just reading it and then take note, or reading and take note at the same time?
I would advise you to experiment with it. And the most important thing about taking notes is to know what you're taking notes about. So, for example, a lot of times when I give people a reading passage, they take notes about everything, right? Mm-hmm. Obviously, this is not a good strategy, right? Before you look at the reading passage, you should think, okay, I need to take notes about the change, the reason 1, and the reason 2. That's it. So if you want to do that after reading the passage, or if you want to do that while reading the passage, I leave that up to you. In my opinion, I would probably do it while reading the passage.
Okay.
Sound good?
You. Yeah.
Okay. All right, everybody. I will be giving you homework. Next class, we're going to be talking about questions 3 and 4. And you might think, how are we going to talk about 2 questions in such a short time? Well, because much of my advice is going to be the same thing, right? It's going to be, you need structure. You have to find this specific thing, right? And so I will be giving you guys homework. Don't worry. And I will talk to you guys on Friday. Okay, sound good, everybody? All right, talk to you guys later. Bye-bye.